Hello again. One quite sees why employers and businessmen are in favour of unlimited immigration. The going rate for a bricklayer in this country is £26,200 a year. However, since bricklayers, carpenters, roofers, tilers and joiners have now been added to the shortage occupation list for prospective immigrants, this means that an employer will be able to advertise abroad and then offer a bricklayer from another country a salary of just £20,960 a year, which is 80% of what he might have to pay a British worker. The logic is unassailable, and one can see why it is rare to hear English being spoken if you pass a building site these days. If you can reduce your wages bill to 80% of what it would be if you employed British workers, then you would be mad not to hire foreigners instead. I am wholly at a loss to know why on earth there would be any shortage of bricklayers, roofers and carpenters in the country. Every further education college in Britain does courses in construction, and there should be no difficulty at all in finding enough British workers to fill any vacancies. This strikes me as simply one more symptom of the terrible addiction which we in this country have for cheap foreign workers. How do people suppose that we survived for all those centuries when we were building everything from castles and cathedrals to ordinary houses, all without the need to send abroad for builders? Is it really possible that anybody honestly believes that it is no longer an option to train young people to lay bricks and tile roofs, and that these jobs can really only be undertaken by men from Eastern Europe? Does it really never occur to anybody that a trick is being played upon us, and that we have been lured into an ever-increasing spiral of immigration on the grounds that otherwise we would be unable to build a house or run a hospital without the foreign labour? In the description to this video, I give a link to a news item about this subject. What we are seeing here is a country which has persuaded itself that it simply cannot function without plentiful immigration. It's not just builders, of course. It is baristas at the local coffee shop, au pairs and nannies, people who wash your car, those working in garages, and everywhere else in Britain. Whether we admit it or not, young British people have gradually been edged out of all kinds of work, and even out of trades like bricklaying, because they are no longer worthwhile. The reason being that employers will always prefer a cheap foreigner to an expensive British worker any day. I don't see any hope for a change here, because this is basic economics. Why should a property developer building a row of houses suddenly increase his wages bill by 25% for no reason, just so that he can get British workers rather than immigrants? Of course, if he can pay bricklayers £20,960 a year instead of £26,200, he's going to do so. The people to blame are those in the government who have gone out of their way to rig the system against the British worker at every touch and turn, and make everything in favour of cheap foreign labour.